Hello and welcome. You're watching Closing Trades here on ET Now. I'm Harsh Saita. Let's talk about the Nifty. Well, we slipped from the highs of the day, but we're fairly range bound and it's not a bad move at all. We continue to hold 26,100 and at the lower end, we've tested 26,050, but we've bounced back decently well. Well, the key laggards today, let's pull out. Firstly, the breadth itself is looking weaker than typically is. You also have the PSU banking pack, which isn't doing too well. But let's pull up the IT index. Let's see what that one is doing. There you go. On the advanced decline, very, very weak on the breadth. The Nifty IT index, a fifth of a percent lower. The Nifty bank, let's pull that one up as well. Try and zoom in and see what that one is doing. And Infosys is up around 0.8%. Of course, focus on Infosys on the back of the buyback, which is currently open. Nifty bank, 0.5% odd lower is how that one is trading at. Let's talk about the couple of sectors which are actually doing well in trade. There's auto, a third of a percent higher, FMCG, a fifth of a percent higher. Those are the two sectors which are actually standing in the green and have done so for a better part of the day. At least auto has, FMCG not so much. Look at metals, pressure there, 1.6% lower. Let's look at PSU banks as well. That's where a bulk of the pressure is at this point, I believe, around... there you go. Okay, 0.8% lower on the Nifty PSU bank. So not as much, but Nifty India Defense Index is down 1.7%. So that one clearly seeing signs of pressure, at least at this hour. Let's talk a little bit about some stocks. Within the Nifty pack, it's Tata Steel, HCL Tech, Hindalco, Bajaj Finance, which are the key laggards. Maruti is actually doing fairly well for itself. So is Interglobe. M&M also doing fairly well for itself. 1.1% higher after that analyst mean. And Tata Motors, PV, Infi are just some of the other gainers along with a Max Health. Within broader markets, plenty of buzzers. And within that pack, what you're seeing is decent moves across sectors. There's a DCM Shriram, which is up 7%. Anupam Rasayan, Sharda Cropchem, Alembic Pharma are just some of the other decent gainers, 3+% higher. A five-star finance is standing out, and within all of this, there's IndusInd Bank, which is up 3% in trade. So that one, again, is one of those which is really standing out. The losers within this, Gujarat Ambuja is one of them, AIA Engineering, Hitachi Energy, JSW Energy, and Jamna Auto, all of which are losing 3% plus, are just some of the key laggards within the Nifty 500 index at this point. Broader markets clearly under pressure. Nifty small cap down 0.9% and Nifty mid cap down 0.8%. So those are visibly underperforming, and typically, given the kind of breadth, that's understandable. Kunal, your take, we're past 130. We've not hit the record highs. Should we expect maybe a car for Aisha? Joking. Okay, what do we have in store and when can we notch those record highs?
See, now it's become difficult to anticipate the record highs. But today we've done phenomenally well. 2.5% down for Hang Seng, 2.5% down for Nikkei, and the handover from the US markets. And for us to close, assumingly at current levels of 0.2%, 0.3% negative, I think is a very good indication that our markets are quite strong and robust. The only concern for the markets today is, of course, lack of follow-through across large cap names as well as the mid-cap end of the markets. It's a lot more diverse, completely scattered in terms of the trends within sectors and across sectors. So that is, the only concern. And let's hope that this is just a one-day aberration for the index trends as such. But then largely, I think we've been holding on to the 26,000 mark for throughout the trading session today. That's a very strong indicator that we are going to the next week and the expiry week with a sort of a hope that maybe if the global market starts to recover, our markets could also see a good bounce back.
Today, it's really all about autos. Maruti holding up almost 2%. M&M has been chugging along quite nicely, 1% higher. Eicher, after being the top winner yesterday, it's put on another 0.6%. But Kunal, while it's clearly established after today that we have decoupled, at least in the interim, from the global market shockwaves. That said, when do we take that all-time high?
Yeah, it's, so if the bounce back happens from today onwards, and of course next week we'd be looking at a market going to the expiry with the expectation of an all-time high levels. What matters over here is now the global context, because frankly speaking, after yesterday's market, there was no reason for our markets to go into such a kind of a complete turnaround as such in terms of the signals. Because even the GIFT 50 yesterday for good part showing at 26,300 plus levels. So I think it's just a one-day correction which has happened suddenly for the US markets that's impacted our near-term trends. But if there is a bounce back, if there is stability, like 2 days back or 3 days back, there was this 1100 point up move for Nikkei, right? And a good bounce back across the US markets. That led to positivity coming back, and we managed to break past about 26,000 yet again. So even if we see that stability in the next 1 or 2 days, then there could be a hope that our markets can bounce back and hopefully retest the new highs.
And what does it look like if we have to retest the new highs? Right now, it's seeming like a very auto kind of move. Yesterday was a combination of Reliance and HDFC Bank. What will lead the market higher?
So I think in terms of sectors, the new sectors which are emerging is Nifty IT index, which is the stronger one. The second is the infra index, which has actually made a good comeback for itself in the last couple of days specifically. And now I think we're seeing the auto stocks also trying to make a comeback. So it's a combination of these three sectors which I believe are the ones which could lead the markets going forward. And you have many large cap names across autos and IT specifically. So names like Infosys, TCS, then you have HCL Tech, as well as from the auto space, we have the likes of M&M, Maruti, etc., which are looking quite strong. And they do hold a key share in terms of the Nifty weightage also. So the trends for both of these sectors could also have a direct impact on the Nifty. And of course, the strength for Reliance Industries, the stock which has been holding on to that 15, 30, 40 levels today, throughout the day, I think is also an indication that these are very strong and sturdy names which are holding up the markets, and that's the reason why we are outperforming.
And Kunal, you spoke about auto, so let's get straight to it. Brokerages remain positive on M&M. They're confident of market share gains, which is M&M is confident of market share gains and growth across segments. Srishti here with the report of how brokerages are analyzing the commentary. Srishti.
Well, yes, M&M did had its investor day just yesterday, and all across the board and for various other segments, the company has set ambitious targets, and even brokerages are liking the fact. First up, let's talk about what Morgan Stanley is penciling in. They appreciate the fact that it's 15 to 40% CAGR growth across the segment between FY26 and 30 is what the company penciling in. 8x growth in their SEVs and LCVs, and 3x growth in the farm segment over FY20 and 30. Now, when it comes to their tractor industry guidance, that has been raised with the CAGR growth being upgraded to 9% versus 7% that was penciled in earlier. So that is one of the key takeaways from the analyst day. And along with that, the company also says that they plan to enter one more segment beyond recently launched insurance. When it comes to Morgan Stanley's view on this particular counter, they maintain their overweight stance with a target price of 4,407 rupees. Even Goldman Sachs has actually come out with a note maintaining their buy rating on this particular counter. They see a 13% upside in the base case and 29% upside in the bull case. They like the fact that autos is going up strongly, and the company also talked about some of their upcoming launches in the November month itself, and going ahead in FY26 and 27, what all one can expect in terms of the new launches. And along with that, when it comes to Citi, they also have come out with a note on M&M where they say that yes, of course, they continue to maintain their buy rating on this particular counter. They say that the management is upbeat on its growth gems, and that value, combined value, has been pegged at 48,000 crores. Overall tone does say that they are confident on the market share gains and multi-segment growth as well, and that's what Citi is liking at this point in time. So all the brokerages have definitely gone ahead and given a thumbs up.
Okay, that's the cheer around M&M. But Kunal, what stocks would you bet on, given that you've got a conviction on IT making a comeback?
Yeah, and IT and auto. So Maruti is what I've picked up as one of the picks. The stock is bouncing back into that 16,000 mark as a breakout. And it's a good comeback, because the stock managed to bounce back from its 50 DMA. So that's a very important support level now for Maruti. Would look out for targets in the range of 16,600. Stop us at 15,750. And the second would be a buy from the FMCG pack, HUL. Discussing this in the morning. The stock is taking good support at the 200 moving average. The stock consolidating at current levels of 2,400, 2,430 thereabouts. So keeping 2370 as a stop loss, would recommend a buy with a near to medium term target of 2550 for HUL.
Okay, what we'll do is we'll slip into a very, very short break. On the other side, we'll continue to talk stocks. Plenty of buzzers to talk about. Stay with us here on ET Now.